This is why I like ribbons better. You just gotta sew the ribbons here, and then you're good. But no, grommets, you have to destroy your work. Oh, so scary. I hate it. Hello, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. I'm making an Anastasia dress. I'm here right now because I didn't film an intro before I started filming the process. So here I am to introduce that. I wanted the dress to be exactly like the movie. I wanted the swooshy skirt. I wanted the tight fitted bodice. I wanted the floppy ribbon and everything. Oh, it came true. For me, it looks like the dress came straight out of the movie. Like, I just, thank you, I'll take that. So the bodice did give me mega problems. Oh my gosh, it was a process, as you'll see later. It was a process, but it was totally worth it. And I'm so happy with how it came out. For the skirt, I started with a half circle skirt because that's all I had. And originally I was just going to do Anastasia with all the fabric that I just had, but then I wanted to be extra and get more. It happens. So I had a half circle skirt, but I didn't like what it was doing with the petticoat. Like, it was so spread out. It didn't have the swoosh I wanted. And yeah, so I ended up cutting out another half circle skirt so it would, you know, be a full circle skirt instead of cutting out like a full circle skirt and have a half, you know. And I cut out 2 half circle skirt pieces for the organza also. And then I sewed both pieces of the satin layer and the organza layers. And then I put rhinestones on them. The rhinestone process was really fun. Like, I made a Tiana dress. That was like the first thing I've ever sewed. And I did put rhinestones on that, but it wasn't that good because it was the first thing I ever sewed. The sparkle that the skirt had, oh, I fell in love. I fell in love. It's so shiny. Can you see that? It's so shiny. I might do crystals lower. I don't know if you can see the shine of them from back here. Right now, they're a little high, and I do want some sparkle all throughout. So, but for now, I think it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with it. We have sparkles. Ignore the glue spots. But, oh, I love it. I'm so happy. So, the original plan was to put rhinestones on the satin layer and then do the same on the organza layer. I don't know how it would look because the way I cut it, I have 2 half circle skirts, but I didn't originally plan for that, so they're both fit my waist, so it's gonna be gathered a bit. Same with the organza. So I don't know how it would look gathered and with an overlay of gathered organza. So I don't know. But right now the sparkle is so beautiful and I'm so happy how it turned out. Like, oh my gosh. It's gonna be a dream and I'm gonna be so excited. This is one of my dream dresses from an animated movie. Oh my gosh. And I'm making it real. Are you kidding? Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so I guess we'll see. Because I did put a lot of rhinestones also up top, like big rhinestones. So I might just put tiny ones on the organza and go from there. And it didn't take as long as I thought it did, so. And because I used a half circle skirt pattern that was big enough to fit around my waist, and I cut 2 panels of that, I had to do a bit of gathering for the satin and for the organza, which I didn't originally plan, but it came out so beautiful. Happy accidents. After I started gathering the pieces separately, I started pinning them to the waistband. Tell me something good. Then I sewed them together. And then I started evening. What do people do when they make the hem even? I don't, like, what don't understand. Evening the hem. Evening. Now that that's evened out, time to close the back, add a zipper, and add the closure. Oh, and the dreaded task of hemming. I hate hemming, especially circle skirts. But oh, I'm so happy how this is turning out. It looks so pretty. Ah, I can't wait for it to be done. Came out so beautiful, so swooshy. That's what I wanted. Because, you know, she's spinning and twirling in the movie and in that sequence, and I'm like, absolutely, absolutely, that's mine now. And so that's what I had. And I twirled in that thing. Oh my gosh. Like, I even uploaded a video on, I think, my Instagram stories immediately, because I was like, I gotta share this. Oh, all this work that I did, because I could have cut some corners while I was doing some parts, but I wanted it to be like the movie. Exactly like the movie. I wanted the swooshy squirt. Well, I wanted. Oh God. For the bodice, I cut out 2 strength layers of the black fabric, and I cut out 2 layers of the yellow satin fabric for the lining and the facing fabric, and 4 layers, 2 for each piece of the front bodice, to overlay the organza. As you can see, I cut the organza layers a little bigger than, or a lot bigger than the pattern pieces, because I wanted to make sure that they would not fray from the seams. Then I overlaid the 2 organza layers over the satin layer and pinned them all together, and then started pasting them together. Want to see a cool way I learned how to thread a needle? Bear with me. I just thought it was cool. You take the thread in your non-dominant hand, needle in your other hand. You practically make a French knot. You put the thread under your needle, right? Kind of like that. Okay? Okay. And then you loop it around the needle. Oh man, this is bad. Okay. Loop it around the needle, not your finger. And then you pull it down. Oh gosh. Ow. Keep it open. Like, stick your fingers through so it doesn't get tangled. And then you just slip it down, slip it down, slip it down. And then you have a knot. my goal with the bodice, can't see it, there you go, is to make it as fitted as possible. Because her bodice, well, she's drawn like that, but we can get it as close as possible. Her bodice is fitted so nicely to her. And I got the skirt perfectly, or how I wanted it perfectly. And I'm in love with it. Like, I wore it for so long the other day. And just twirled in it. Because I'm so happy with how it turned out. As you can see, it's right here. I'm so happy. It's perfect. I love it. Okay. So, for the bodice, as you saw in other clips, I basted organza. Organza, the satin layer, and a strength layer together. And now I'm going to sew the lining and the pretty fabric, the front facing fabric together. Sew the pieces together, not the lining and the, yeah. I'm gonna sew those together and we'll see how it fits, because I made a Snow White bodice earlier this year and that fit very nicely, but the sleeves were a bit big. And I don't know how that happened. Maybe I didn't fit it on enough. I don't know. But we'll see. I don't do mock-ups because I don't have the patience for them and it's just a boring process. And I already have to sew a bunch of boning channels, so why not just cut out the step and wing it? Bad decisions, we love them. So here's what I have on the bodice so far. This is the lining with the boning in. It doesn't really cinch, I guess. Sorry if you can hear my fan. I was getting frustrated earlier, and when I get frustrated, I get hot. So, like, maybe it'll be better when everything's sewn together, like all the strength layers and the straps are actually sewed on. It in fact did not get better. The bodice just fit weirdly on me. As you can see, there's space at the top which I don't know where that came from. Like, what is that? What is that? So, I wasn't gonna film this because I was feeling incredibly frustrated with the process, but I took a few days to cool down, so this is where I'm at. I seam ripped the seams where where they have to be taken in, and I took the boning out that was here and just seamed ripped the top stitching and the stitching, the lining and the facing fabric away. Just between that, I kept everything else together and just seamed ripped all of this so I can make a bigger seam so it will hopefully work and get taken in. And if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna have to make a new bodice, and I hope I don't have to do that. So I had to make a new bodice. It just was not working out. The other bodice had weird space. I tried to dart it where I seam ripped, and it did not work. And I did the dumb decision to cut off the straps and try to fix it that way, and it didn't work. So here's the new pieces. It is so much better than it was before. I used a different pattern. I used my Snow White pattern, and it looks so much better. I don't know why you can see the seams. Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. But I am so happy that it turned out so well. Now all I have to do is add the grommets. Maybe you can see better this way. And it's done! And next is the sleeves, the bows, and the crown. And I'm done! I can't wait! I can't wait. Ah! So I don't have much footage of me sewing the sleeves, but it's very simple. I just cut them out of this 70s pattern that I drafted for a 70s dress that I made earlier this year, and cut it out, hemmed them, and sewed them together. It's bow time. So, I did have like a satin. It's more matte than I used for the yellow satin, but it made it the bow a little bit darker, which doesn't matter. But I really want this dress to be screen accurate. Like I just picked the dress out of the movie. That's what I'm striving for. So, I found this fabric at a thrift store, and it is so pretty. It has like little details on it, which is pretty cute, I guess. You probably won't see it with the organza on top, layered on top of this fabric. It looks like it's glowing, and that is perfect for me because I want it picked out of the movie. And what's she doing during this scene in the movie? She's glowing. So, it's gonna be fun. Now, I was doing a little, not research, but I was looking at the bows, you know, watching Pinterest and watching the Once Upon a December scene. And her bows aren't really like how you would normally make bows. Like this. This is a bow I made for Snow White. It's like closed at the top. I hope you can see that. It's closed at the top, right? Sides closed, you know? But I was looking at pictures, and I'll put some on the screen. Her bows look like they're open on the top. So I'm like, oh, wonderful. Both of them, the waist one and the head one. So I think I have to change my strategy on making the bows and make them a different way. You can see it's wrinkles because I was doing this earlier to get it through how I'm gonna do this. So, just print normal printer paper, 8.5 by 11, okay? And this is how I'll have to make the bows. So, you just one piece of fabric, right? Fold it in half, long ways, hot dog, whichever. And then you'll turn it this way and scrunch it down, and that will make the bow because it will be open on this side. So this is what I meant when it's like a rectangle and then you fold it and then it'll be open in the top, like Tiana's, Anastasia's, like that. And this is only one half. So these will be the waist bow. And so when you fold it in half, it'll be like that. It's time for the last installment, the crown! Yay! It's been a bit of time doing this dress, but it has been so worth it, and I'm so happy how it has turned out. So, I wanted to cut out 2 pieces of cardboard of this shape and like glue fabric onto both pieces and then sandwich them so the raw edges aren't seen. But I don't know how that's gonna turn out, and if it's gonna work, and if I even have enough fabric. So we'll see. Here's my big bin of leftover fabric, and I'll see if I can find enough fabric, and if not, I'm just gonna paint it and call it a day. Alright, new update. I remembered I had this beautiful glitter tool that I bought. And I think it will work very nicely. So, satin, glitter tulle, and then the organza. And it will mute, it will mute the glitter tulle. See? It's like a little muted, but it's still glittery, oh my, glittery. It's not picking up how yellow this glitter tulle is. It's very yellow. And how yellow my satin is, but it will be muted, and that would be so nice. Then I cut my template out of cardboard and cut them out of my fabric pieces. I thought this part of doing the crown was going to be a little more challenging, but it was actually really fun, and I quite enjoyed this. If you ever make a fabric crown, it's fun. Ow! I forgot it was tulle! Ow! Oh gosh! What do I use? What do I... So, now that this is done, this is what I was talking about. 2 sides with the raw edges, and then you're gonna sandwich them, and they should match up like this. And then I started putting pearls on top. The pearls are just 1 packet of like medium sized pearls from Dollar Tree. Just 1, and I didn't even use them all. And after I finish with the pearls, it's time to go to the reveal.